Alright everyone, it's time for more Mystery Dungeon. What did we do last time? We finished off the Sinister Woods? Was that it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Sinister Woods. Sorry, it's been a while. I usually intend to record these once every 2 weeks, but unfortunately I couldn't record last week. I managed to record some Halo 2 though, so that's why that's still going up. Anyway, so remember Shift Tree and Jump Off and all that? Yeah, that's the game talking, not me. But what Shift Tree agreeing to take on your rescue job? Yes, but Shift Tree, he hasn't come back from the rescue mission. Are you serious? Our friend Jump Off got wedged between some rocks. We Jump Off can go anywhere if we catch a wind, but even though the skies are filled with thunderclouds, for some odd reason the winds haven't blown. Not even a breeze? That is strange. Shift Tree's leafy fans can whip up powerful winds. We thought the Shift Tree's wind would be able to dislodge our friend, but Shift Tree hasn't returned. It doesn't sound like all that challenging of a rescue mission. It is strange. Oh, that's the spirit, Whitey. Your expression tells me you're ready. The mouth wide open Squirtle expression, that has got some really pronounced lips. Pardon me. So I don't know why I was just testing out the window settings here, but sure. I sort of did a thing where once I passed the halfway point of the game, then I switched the window from red to green. But we're not at the halfway point yet. No. Not yet. So yeah, now we got to prepare to go to what's it? Pretty sure it's the dungeon I'm thinking of. Just in case it's not, I'm not going to say its name. You know, because we aren't there yet. But if we are, then this marks the point. Well, hang on, there's no point in saying this in case it's the wrong dungeon, so I'll wait until we figure out which one it is. Anyway, yeah, we found out that Shift Tree isn't coming back, so we better go rescue him. So let's do that. So anyway, I think it's at this point of the game where I start to finalize what I like to have in my inventory as before going into a dungeon. Earlier on in the game, at this point, it's only about 6 items. So, yeah. Also, yeah, you saw a tract there. We want a tract as soon as we possibly can. So, yeah, as soon as I saw it, I thought, yes, finally. Okay. So, I've just brought out all my pokies, and let's go ahead and buy a tract and give it to Squirtle. Because you may be thinking, a tract, what are you talking about? A tract is useless, isn't it? No, in mainline, yes, but in Mystery Dungeon, a tract is amazing because sure, it only has 10 PP, but it always works. It will never miss a target, and when it does hit them, they will be completely infatuated for maybe 3 or 4 turns. And they can't do anything in that time, so it's amazing. It's super useful and it works on everything, even on the final boss, so yeah, I'm going to be using a tract. If you have a tract, then the game is just, the boss fights at least are super easy. It also makes for good insurance. Say you're dealing with a Pokemon that's, you know, kicking your ass and things are getting kind of dicey and you'd rather not use a Reviver Seed, so use a tract and they'll stop attacking for a few turns to, you know, let you regain your composure and go at them again. So anyway, I'm about to go save. I was going to go, what am I doing? Let's go save. And apparently there's an unused sound effect in the game files for saving, which is why, okay, we're going to Silent Chasm. Not the dungeon I was thinking of, but anyway, what's the name? the, what was I saying? Completely forgotten. I can't remember, but I can think of nothing I was going to say. I've recorded up to... This game has 13 dungeons in the main story, and I've recorded up to the 11th dungeon. And after the 11th dungeon, there's a million side quests, so I've recorded all those too, they're all done, so I'm ready to take on the 12th dungeon, but I haven't recorded this game in a month, I think. Oh yeah, and at this point, Henry's trying to play off that, oh yeah, we're too sick to go. You know, we can't take on because there's a monster in there. Is that so? But Whitey hasn't had anything to eat yet this morning. So there's our facade broken. But yeah, I don't think I've recorded this game in about a month. Which isn't good, because the last two dungeons are pretty tough, and you know, I'd like to be ready for those. Has it been a month? No, it's been longer than a month. What was that? I recorded that on maybe the 1st of February, and today is what, like the 9th or 10th of March or something. Oh, speaking of which, the remake for these games has come out. I'm not sure of the release date. Also, Weedle picked up a special band. We'll be needing that. I think the remake, either the remakes come out, or everyone who's got a review copy is just posting their reviews to YouTube, because yeah, I'm seeing all those reviews all over the place, and you know, interesting. I still think the original, this game, looks better, if I'm honest. But you know, the art style's alright. But anyway, we picked up the special band. So, hold item increases the Pokemon special attack. We'll be given that to Whitey. I guess we can give the Petroscarf to Henry. Makes him immune to poison. But yeah, the remake, visually, I don't know, I'm not really digging the whole colouring book, or sort of like a Winnie the Pooh book, 100 Acre Wood style. I mean, it would look alright if it just didn't look so janky. I think it's partially the animations, you know, bringing up Pokemon animations still, but you know, in the remake it looks stilted, it looks strangely stilted, just in comparison to the beautiful sprite work of this game, you know, the beautiful animation. See, just standing still and watching Squirtle jump, like, that's cute. In the remake, he wouldn't do that, he'd just stand still. So yeah, there's so much personality in this game, I feel, but not in the remake, visually at least. And I'd rather just have a new Mystery Dungeon, if I'm honest. Although I haven't played either Gates to Infinity or Super Mystery Dungeons, so... You know, I've got no idea of their quality. I know a lot of people don't like Gates to Infinity. I know you can only have 1 of 5 different starters or something stupid like that. Which is absurd compared to the second game. But anyway, the Silent Chasm isn't really that much to write home about. I completely forgot about this dungeon, if I'm honest. Build, I don't even want to say it's that tough. I mean, granted, you know, if you're not taking enemies out quick like that Teddiursa there, he did, you know, a decent amount of damage to me, so you just gotta watch yourself. Although, I think it's at this point I start to realise that Squirtle really isn't good for physical attacks. As you'll no doubt notice in my physical attack damage. And also because I've got the special band equipped. Granted, Squirtle isn't really good for, or isn't meant for attacking so much overall. But you know, he's more a defense. He's more of a defensive Pokemon. That's why he's got the turtle design. Don't exactly see too many boxing turtles. So I can't remember how many floors this dungeon has. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure, but so okay. So I'm trying to think of how much left I have to record of this game. Probably only one more recording session of playing it. Obviously, I've got to do voiceover later. But the game is almost done in recording. But you know, I still got to voiceover, so it's only half the battle, and then I still got to edit that. So yeah, doing Mystery Dungeon recordings is much more of a hassle than just doing a standard recording, because, you know, I just record my voice and the gameplay at the same time, and that's fine, you know, and that's how I do most games, like Halo 2 at the moment. That's how I'm doing it. You know, all that I need to do is just edit those. But with Mystery Dungeon, oh god, no. See, I originally wanted to record using a computer out here, because, you know, this is emulated. Has to be emulated because I don't have a capture card for anything really, besides an Elgato. So you know, and I already own the game. I just beat it again recently, so I figure that's fine. I'll emulate it, and you know, I wanted to record using this computer out here, the same one that I use to record using the Elgato and most of the stuff, most of the games that I normally record. I wanted to record using that, you know, and just load up the emulator at the same time and give live commentary, which was fine, except, you know, I kept doing it. Oh, I was doing some test recordings, and the game audio was just crushed to hell and back, bit crushed, and it was terrible. It was disgusting, and, you know, I tried a bunch of different things to work around it, and nothing would work, unfortunately. So, I mean, it is what it is. So I use the computer I use to edit to record the game, which, as you can hear, has its audio just fine. And so I thought, right, well, I'll just record off of that, edit those down into 2-hour recording sessions, and then just record voiceover on the recording computer, the normal recording computer. So I'm back out at the one that I normally use to record, and, you know, then go back to the editing computer and edit them together, cut them down into 20-minute episodes, stuff like that. So yeah, it's a not super complicated. There's definitely more archaic methods to record that I've heard of and done, but you know, this is a little more work than I'd like it to be, because it really shouldn't have to be this complicated just because of the crushed audio on one computer, which is strange to me. But it is what it is, and I recorded most of the game, so the trouble is, it's just, you know, I don't really have so much of a drive. Oh, yeah, if we've been introduced to water tiles yet. So because I'm a water type, I can walk on the water tiles, which is pretty neat, right? No, the water tiles are really just useless, because you're running and you see me jittering all over the place. That's because the game's stopping me and telling me, hey, you can walk on these water tiles. And I'm trying to say I know that, but it doesn't stop me. And the worst part is, because Trico can't go on the water tiles. If I go on a water tile and I try to go back, or I try to go stand where Trico is, the game will say, well, he can't stand on that, so do you want to switch places? Or, you know, make your teammate walk back to the beginning of the floor? Which I never want to happen, because I don't ever want Trico to be on his own, really. And water tiles are just super awkward. See me constantly juddering all over the place. It's annoying. Also, Henry's got sniped by that Weedle. But yeah, the water tiles are pretty annoying, and they're everywhere in this game. When you're a water type, have fun, you know, being stopped and started all the time. Stopping and starting? There you go. There are also lava tiles for fire types. We haven't seen those yet, and they're nowhere near as frequent as water tiles, so... I mean, on the plus side, the water tiles look nice. Everything about this game looks nice. The sprite work is some of the best I've ever seen. So you see here, I accidentally walked onto the tile, so I got to diagonally go around Trico. Trico. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. But I think the trouble is that... because I recorded up to... Let's say I'm about 5/6 through the game. Yeah, let's say that. In recording, and I did all that in one weekend, and you know that was pretty good. You know, and I got a lot of progress on the game, and you know, only one more recording session will finish it. But the trouble is, that you know, the next, because I didn't have time to record it at all throughout the week. That's when I recorded Halo 2. The trouble is that the next weekend I didn't finish off the recording. I just, well, I didn't do it. Is what I'm trying to get at. And I thought, oh well, next weekend. And then the next weekend I thought, I don't know, it's been a while and I don't exactly want to do it. So I didn't. And then that cycle kept repeating, keeps repeating. I'm still not out of that cycle, and I just keep telling myself it's only one more recording session. But I think what's really getting me is that the last two dungeons are difficult, and if I know what I'm doing, I can get through them just fine. But it's very taxing. So that's the trouble. Maybe this weekend. Maybe this weekend I'll do it. So, yeah, that's... I think I don't exactly have so much of a drive. Hang on. Wait, doesn't Henry have the Petroscarf? Or maybe I swapped it out and I didn't notice, but he shouldn't be poisoned at the moment. But, anyway, yeah, the trouble is that the reason I don't have so much of a drive to record this game is because of just the complicated process and how all the back and forth you got to do. Right now, what I'm doing right now is the easiest part. Although, yeah, so I use the water tile to my advantage there to just skip across the little gap and just go straight for the stairs. It's the only time I'll use water tiles to my advantage is if I need to quickly get to the stairs. So, yeah, but I think this weekend I'll finish recording this game. It's just, it's kind of exhausting. I don't know about exhausting, but a little bit monotonous, just because of the style of the gameplay. The game's very repetitive, and it's just doing it all at once sort of burned me off of it. So yeah, that's the trouble. That's why I don't like doing post-recordings, is because, you know, I usually have a schedule of once a week for recording, but with post-recording, you know, that's all messed up, so I'm a little more lenient on that, and that's the trouble, because then we get a situation of, was it 3 years ago now, wow, 2017, where I wouldn't think to myself, because the year after that, or 2018, I started saying to myself, alright, I need to record at like a session at least once a week, because that way you can get a consistent schedule, which was fine. But then the trouble is, before that, 2017 and prior, it's just I'd record when I felt like it, and a lot of the time during 2017 I didn't exactly feel like it. It's not really because I wasn't, you know, happy to record. It's just the games that I was recording. And plus, sometimes I just wouldn't. A lot of the time, I just wouldn't feel like recording. For example, Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. That is probably the entire reason as to why I didn't enjoy recording a lot, because I thought, great, well, I can record Splatoon 2. I recorded Splatoon 2 pretty fast, so that's fine. But like the gap between Sonic CD and Knuckles Chaotix was another post-commentary one. So that's why that took a bit. But after that I was going, okay, well, I'm gonna do Sonic Heroes. Keep in mind this was in May, April. I said, okay, we're gonna do Sonic Heroes and we're gonna quickly go through it. I think I started Sonic Heroes in August and didn't finish it until December. So yeah, that was unfortunate. And that was sort of the breaking point where I thought, right, well, I'll just record, you know, a session a week at least. Usually on Tuesdays, I find to be best. Oh god, okay, see, this Fury attack doesn't seem like a big problem, right? But oh boy, in this game, Fury attack, you know, works the same way, except it still has a decent attack power for all 5 times, which, as you can see, isn't too much of a problem on Squirtle here. Except that is whittling health down over time. However, if your partner gets hit by it, because they just seem to have lower defense innately, they are going to get destroyed. You really, really don't want to deal with quick attack in this game. So anyway, I use Attract here to stop Beedrill from doing it again, and then heal myself up. Also, I saw the remake brought back Ethers and Max Ethers instead of just having Max Elixirs, which is annoying. And it also got rid of the regular attack, which makes me question what happens if you run out of all your PP, which is much easier to do in this game than mainline Pokemon. I've got no idea. It just seems like they've made the game harder, which is strange because the game already was on the difficult side. See, I don't know what's up with that. But you know, I'm not gonna pick up the remake. I have the original and it's just fine, thank you. So whatever, I suppose. The remake doesn't really look that appealing to me. Still was the best part of that little Pokemon Direct that they had. Here I'm trying to wait out and recover my health, but I decide whatever, I keep getting interrupted by these Paras, so whatever, I'll just use an Oran Berry and get out of here, because you don't really have to use Oran Berries